Hi everybody, Dr. Liz Carter here from drlizcarter.com, and today I just wanted to talk to you about the worst part of being sick and why it's actually the best part for your health. So I wanted to do this video because my husband and I seriously got knocked down last week. We were out for pretty much the whole week. He got it a little worse than I did. But it was this really awesome, super sore throat, coughing, sneezing, mucus, you know the drill, right? The cold that just doesn't really want to quit. I've still got a little bit going on, not contagious, don't worry, but not that you can get it over video, but just a little reassurance. But yeah, I mostly recovered. It's just kind of hanging on there. So it was a really great reminder for me to practice what I preach to my patients all the time when they get sick, and it's really important for me to get acutely ill like this to remember why it's so important. So what am I talking about with the worst part of being sick? So there are typically two phases that I think of with this kind of acute viral respiratory illness type of thing. We've got this I call it the acute stage. So where maybe we've got fever, we've got body aches, our energy's low, we're kind of like, what is going on? Our throat's getting sore, that whole first part. And then the second part, which is the discharge phase. So discharge happens once the fever's gone, most of the time the sore throat's gone, and this is where all the stuff starts to come out. We've got the mucus, the coughing, anything else that needs to come out will come out, right? Which is probably of the two phases, I would say that people find this the worst, right? It tends to last the longest for reasons which we'll get into, and then it's also really, really uncomfortable, right? So this is what I talk to all my patients about with this discharge process. It is uncomfortable and gross, and nobody likes it, but it's so important to our health. This is why it's the best part of getting sick, because it helps us get stronger and healthier on the other side if we let this process actually happen. And we are really bad about letting this process happen. We have an entire aisle in the drugstore that is meant to not let this process happen, right? Cough suppressants, fever suppressants, right? Getting rid of mucus, decongestants, all of these products, right? They're actually stopping the body's healing response. So that's what's really important to understand about this discharge process. Even though it is massively uncomfortable and gross, nobody likes to have excess mucus coming out of their face or lungs, it is super crucial to actually healing, right? This is what your body is saying. I have got all this stuff built up from this virus or whatever. This is the product of your immune system working, and now I got to get it out of here, right? And if you let it do its job and express and get it out, it moves through pretty quickly, even though it's uncomfortable. Whereas 9 times out of 10, what I see happen when people suppress, right? They use these medications that will decrease the body's response, right? Their illness lasts longer. So because what happens when you do this, when you take these suppressive medications with, like, let's say a cough suppressant, you really need to cough and get things out of your lungs, right? That's what your body is saying. It's sending you a really strong signal. You need to cough and you need to get this up, and then once it's done, it's done. It's out. It's not bothering you anymore. However, when you take the suppressive medications, now your body is fighting two battles, right? One, it's fighting the mucus and the remnants of the virus and getting things up and out so you can actually breathe. And then two, it's fighting the medication, right? Because the medication is saying, hey, no, you can't do that. I need to bring this down so it's less uncomfortable, right? So I usually see this last way longer for people that use these medications, the discharge process. And that's also why people hate it so much, because they're used to it lasting forever. But it doesn't have to, right? If you actually let the process continue naturally, there are herbs and supplements that support that process, and that's something I want to highlight too, right? Drugs, Western medicine, that entire medical model is based on suppression. It's based on look at your symptoms and let's squash them, let's get rid of them, right? Whereas the naturopathic model is completely different. We believe in something called the vis, which is your natural or innate healing power, right? That the body has its own ability to heal without any intervention. And the simplest way to see this is through looking at what we do with a cut or scrape, right? We're not directing the body to heal it. it just heals, right? So it has this innate capacity. And in naturopathic medicine, we work with that innate capacity. So the supplements and herbs are meant to augment the immune response and help you get over things more quickly, which sometimes will decrease the discomfort. Sometimes the discomfort will be there for a while. But you do move through it because you are assisting the body rather than telling it, no, now you've got to fight 2 battles on 2 different fronts. So I just wanted to give you a quick word about discharge. Goodness knows I have had so much of it in the last few days, and it has been really uncomfortable. And I've taken a few things, but I've really mostly just kind of let it do its thing. And that's what happens for me too, is mentally, I know that it's very difficult because it's gross and uncomfortable. And, I was whining to Chris, my husband, a lot about it. But I know that it's good, right? I know that things are moving out, that they're getting cleared up, that I'm going to heal. And oftentimes after an acute illness, if you let the discharge process through naturally, you end up feeling healthier on the other side, because this acute illness is like accelerated spring cleaning for your body. It's like, great, we're getting rid of stuff that's built up, let's move it out. So that's also really exciting in my patients that I see once that discharge process is over. Sometimes you're a little tired after discharge because it is a very energy intensive process. But many times, if they've had a chronic issue or illness, they'll have a little bit more resolution than with those symptoms that they usually experience than what they had before the acute illness. So your body is super smart. Trust its process. Use that as the silver lining the next time you're feeling gross and awful and uncomfortable. Realize that your body is doing its best work to heal and to help you feel better. And just one little caveat, I'm sure you're wondering, of course there are times when maybe some suppression is necessary, but not nearly as often as you think, especially with fevers. Those are usually totally fine. Again, consult your doctor, consult your naturopath with any specific health concerns or questions, but usually going the natural route, letting the body do its thing, and just realizing that it's actually helping you, even though it's uncomfortable, is really important. Discomfort is crucial to the healing process. As awful as it is sometimes. Okay, well that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching.